many caregiver that accompany patient to my clinic
Mm.
doesn't know that their parents actually losing teeth.
Really, because they don't talk that much or they don't see that much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I the one ask patient to open the mouth. I want to check your teeth. Are you wearing dentures? Is that your dentures are properly fitted? Is that any ulcer? The doctor or caregiver doesn't know about it.
Hi everyone, welcome to my Final Year podcast, MFD podcast. And this is our I think 6 or 7 episode already. Yeah, it is 7 episode already, and it's already almost half of the Ramadan. It's really fast this year. Um, I don't know how to describe it, but it's just really fast. But
Yeah.
Shen Yi, did you fast so far?
No. I used to fast last time, but maybe towards the end of Ramadan, only I will join the join the fasting team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's a very
Mm.
good month for you to actually try as well, because it really tests a lot in terms of our patience. Like our whole, I don't know how to say it, like patience towards something lah. Like like you cannot eat, you cannot drink at a certain period of time. And then right now it's really hot weather. Like
Yeah.
it really tests our patience a lot.
Mm.
And anyway, we are going to make it very different this time around for our podcast. We have a very special guest, someone who is very close to us, and because of her also that we graduated.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right, yeah. So we are just gonna talk like a santai, like a chill session, like having a conversation. We also want to bring an expert into this podcast so that we can ask some opinions towards certain topics, and then you can also get some like information about it. And most importantly, it's a very important caveat over here. Whatever that we record, whatever that we are going to discuss, it is a general advice or like a general recommendation. So if let's say you are someone with a certain or specific diseases, then you will need to refer to your own dietitian or medical doctor. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Anyway, before we start, I think we miss out one thing that we always do in our podcast.
Follow, right?
Follow even before follow. It's
Oh,
always,
sustainable.
yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. So again, just a quick reintroduction again. Yeah. So welcome back to my Find Diet podcast. We aim to bring sustainable, healthy dietary behavior for everyone. And
Yeah.
don't forget to follow and like and comment after listen to this podcast. Yeah. Okay. Continue now.
Yeah. So today we're gonna talk about mainly about Ramadan. Like what are the food that went viral during Ramadan this year. I believe everyone knew about it. And then we're gonna talk a little bit about how to stay healthy during Ramadan, and then what is the general advice for older people when it comes to Ramadan, so that they can stay active or they can stay healthy. Because our special guest today, actually, her specialization is actually for geriatric. You want to explain a little bit what is geriatric for,
Yeah.
like, a little bit of definition?
Correct me if I'm wrong, doctor. Yeah. So basically, geriatrics mainly in terms of the elderly population. Yeah. So for this the speaker or the guest that we are going to talk to, she's actually having quite a extensive research and also experience in terms of researching about what is the needs or nutrition issue that usually happen between elderly. Yeah, elder population orang-orang tua lah.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. And our guest today is actually a senior lecturer in Universiti Putra, Malaysia. Also, our lecturer when we were still studying in UPM before.
Yeah.
And like we mentioned just now, her specialization is actually in geriatric nutrition. She graduated her PhD from University of Surrey, the UK. Right? Yeah. Maybe we can hear her British accent later, right? I don't know. Yeah. So, anything you want to add before we bring our guests to the stage?
I think I don't have nothing much. Let's just bring her.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, present to you Dr. Noraida Omar.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello, hi. Hi, Ameerul. Hi, Shen Yi. Thank you, Fine Diet, for having me tonight. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for kind introduction. Yeah, so
Mm-hmm.
I'm Noraida from UPM. My student call me Dr. Aida.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm senior lecturer in Department of Dietetics. I'm joined UPM in 2007.
Wow,
Okay,
season already.
before I further my study, PhD in UK, all right, in 2007. Okay, and then I living in UK for 5 years.
5 years.
Okay,
Mm.
meaning that I'm fasting in UK for 4 times. Four
Wow.
times.
Oh, okay.
Very challenging. Yeah. Later we'll talk about fasting in UK. Yeah, what actually the challenges and so on. Okay, so apart from being a senior lecturer in Department of Dietetic, I'm also a dietitian in Klinik Diet Warga Emas in Hospital Sultan Abdul Aziz Shah. So Hospital Sultan Abdul Aziz Shah actually is a hospital pengajar UPM, just rebranding. Yeah,
Mm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
rebranding. Klinik Diet Warga Emas is 2 years old.
Oh, very
Oh,
new. We went, yeah. Oh, last time we were there. It's still HPUPM, right?
yeah.
And
Okay.
Yeah.
So everything is growing in HESAS right now. We call it HESAS. Okay. And then I'm joined Agile. Agile is a part of the multidisciplinary team focusing how to give a best nutritional care and management for older patient in HESAS. Okay. Um, so first of all, I would like to declare this serialization is 100% my personal view, not
Mm-hmm.
reflect UPM.
Yeah.
So if I said wrong, it meaning that my limitation, not UPM limitation. Okay. So happy Ramadan to everyone. Yeah. So bringing on.
yeah, bring it on. Wow.
That's after the declaration. Yes, we can talk everything already. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
yeah. Okay. It has been without we realize, right? It's been 4 years, since we actually graduated, and 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 we are very curious to know what's your current interest in geriatrics. What kind of like research that you are actually focusing on right now.
All right. Thank you for the question. As you know, so my research interest and also teaching interest mainly focus on the geriatric nutrition
Mm,
and also food service management.
mm,
So I did my PhD in UK, also focusing on geriatric malnutrition in the UK comparing to the Malaysian older patient. Okay, so apart from that, a small section in my PhD focusing on the food service,
okay,
so pathways and so on, focusing on geriatric population. Like Chong said, geriatric is a study for older patient.
Mm.
mm,
Okay, it's very different. Malaysia, older patient is 60 years and older.
mm.
For
Yeah.
older patient in the UK, they are starting from 65.
Oh,
Mm.
okay.
They actually living longer. They have a higher life expectancy
Mm,
compared to us in Malaysia.
Mm.
understand. Yeah, that's very very cool actually.
Yeah.
So when you say that just now, right? I remembered you live in the UK for 5 years, so which means that you went through 4 Ramadan in the UK, and I'm also sure that there must be one of the years where you fast during summer,
Yes,
right? So I
Kurma
believe
summer,
it's long, right? It's a long hour, right?
very long hours.
How
Yeah,
long is it?
yeah.
We starting to fast from down at 3:30 in the morning,
Okay,
Okay.
and the breaking fast 9 p.m.
that's
So
Wow.
the longer duration is about 19 hours.
that's almost one day already.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Okay. And then the weather is hot, but
Mm.
not uh,
It's not humid, right? It's not sweaty.
yeah, not humid. It's very cold. Okay. We are adapting. We actually adapting, and actually we are liking. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, we need to plan ahead.
Mm,
Okay. I mean, the first years is quite challenging to us.
mm.
Okay. After that, we are doing great.
I see, I see. Like what about in term of the maybe the Muslim culture there? Like because in Malaysia itself, Muslim is the majority, right? So I think it's
Yes.
pretty easy to find like Bazaar Ramadan or
Yeah.
like
I was about to
food,
ask that. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, and then the environment of like people iftar together and everything, right? But maybe in the UK, Muslim are the minority per se, right? So So how does it feel like during that time? Like how's the situation and everything?
So we have a Muslim population,
Mm.
meaning that we are living in the Muslim community, but obviously there are no Bazaar Ramadan.
Mm,
Oh.
No Bazaar Ramadan. We need to learn how to cook.
mm,
We
Mm.
need to know how to do the food preparation so that our life will become easier, so that I can focus my study, all right, and my family. My husband's working, so everything need to check. So yeah, with with that we need to have self discipline.
yeah, for sure.
A lot.
Uh,
Yeah.
a lot. That's how the experience that discipline us.
Yeah,
Okay.
for
Mm.
sure.
Mm. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So usually, I'm just out of curious as well as in like over there because over here in Malaysia we have a lot of like iftar sama-sama and things like that. So just now, Doctor, you were mentioning that there's like a Muslim population there. Will you all do iftar together or like how? Do they have those gathering kind of element there during iftar?
All right. Um, s- it's not every day we gather.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, mungkin once per week we have the gathering at the Muslim mosque. Right. If not, if we have a neighbor, so we invite them, and then tomorrow they invite us.
Mm,
Okay, we exchange the food. Okay, we share the moment together. Okay, solat tarawih pun during late night, because of the time difference, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Mm.
Surrey is not in London, right?
It's next to London, very near to London. It's about 30 minutes.
Oh, so it's still far from the Malaysian Hall in right?
40 minutes
40 minutes.
by
So
train. By train, because UK the public transport very excellent, very easy to have the access, and then the student, also international student also have the benefit,
mm,
uh, get the student rate. Our life actually easier,
mm,
easier. Okay, but the living expenses
yeah,
in the Guildford, sorry,
Different.
very expensive. Is similar to the London rate. So
Mm.
that's why we are very struggling.
of course.
Yeah, my husband also do a lot of side part times
Mm.
to support us. Mm.
Yeah,
Mm.
and that time means that you mentioned your husband is also there, which means that you actually together with the whole family living in the UK for that 5 years.
Yes, I get married before going to UK,
Oh, nice.
and then start family from there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think that's the reason why maybe like if let's say you are still like an undergraduate, you are still single, maybe you will join more of that iftar together, right? But because
Yeah,
you have
yeah,
your own
yeah.
Oh.
family, that's why maybe you spend more of the time with your family, which I think still superwoman, like study and then you have like your family prepare for iftar. I think it's really tired, right, daughter?
But yeah, very tired. Living here also tired.
Yeah.
Yeah, living here also tired. But yeah, everything can manage if we have a self discipline and we know what actually our role, right? And both parties do the roles without asking why.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
that's the married life all about.
I see. So
All the sacrifice.
it's all about sacrifice.
Yes,
I
all
see.
the sacrifice.
So if let's say we take because that was like few years ago, right? So we take a step into what we see closer. How is your Ramadan going until now? Because by the time we record, it is almost the middle of the month, right? And yeah. So how is it going so far, Doctor?
Alhamdulillah, it's going good.
Mm-hmm.
My kids also fasting. They are also good. Like I said, we enjoy every moment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, despite we have the apa ni, apa temperature issue, the hot
Yeah.
issue.
The
Oh
heat
yeah,
wave, right?
yeah. But that's the major challenges,
True.
to make sure our kids fully hydrated and get the good food during the apa tu, sahur and also breaking fast.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's something that, of course, we will go deeper into it. Since you
Mm.
have already touched about it, we're gonna talk more about how to stay hydrated, how to stay healthy during Ramadan. But I have one question for you. Do you go to Bazaar Ramadan as a dietitian?
Yeah, to be honest, yeah, I go to Bazaar Ramadan. Ramadan is a heaven of food.
Yeah, yeah.
And we talk about the viral food, we can find at the Bazaar Ramadan. Okay, but
Mm,
not only viral food, in trend food, but all the traditional food, kuih muih, makanan-makanan sehat, all good food also there, right? So Bazaar Ramadan actually a part of the social,
True.
but if you're asking me at this year, only one time.
mm.
Understand.
Only one time I managed to go to Bazaar Ramadan just to buy onde-onde and also kuih pelita.
Kuih pelita, yes. It- I think it's that's the beautiful of like Ramadan in Malaysia as well. It's the Bazaar Ramadan that we kind of like wait every year because it doesn't happen, like every month. It's
Mm.
only once a year. I think it's really beautiful. Is that something that you miss when you were in the UK before?
Yes. But with the help of the internet,
Mm.
I managed to make my own version of kuih. After
Oh.
Oh.
several trial. Okay. So during that time, there are very limited sources.
Mm.
There are no Instagram, people not sharing how to make it, but they have a Google.
Yeah.
So we just Google the recipe, the written recipe, then we keep on trying.
Mhm.
Okay, so yeah, that's the beautiful of living international, other countries, so that we know how to um, enjoy our life.
Oh yeah, true.
And
Mhm.
also to feel the I don't know, memories or the
Yeah,
yeah, if
that
let's say
become a good memories,
yeah,
yeah, to share with our kids,
that's very good.
about the struggle.
Yeah. Okay, so Doctor, just now you were talking about trendy food, makanan viral, things like that. I think this year there's also another food that's like I think mula-mula, I think just the
Yeah.
first, second week of Ramadan, then I was suddenly start, a lot of people talking about it. Right? It's the kurma butter. Right?
Kurma butter.
Yeah.
Hati-hati kena bagi opinion ni kan. Nanti kita kena cancel.
Have you tried before, Doctor?
Have you tried, Chong,
Um,
Amirul?
I personally don't really eat dates lah. Yeah, I don't really like dates. I like other fruits. So that's why I don't really try this kurma butter. You
Mm.
you tried?
No, I basically because of my work, I talked with some of my friend who is doing fasting as well. They said they tried. They feel very oily, but I never tried. They said very oily. That, and then I asked them, will they do you want to do it tomorrow, or do you still want to take it? Right? They said no. They possibly of trying only.
Okay, thanks for asking me.
Uh,
I also not a big fan of kurma.
Same.
I'm not a
mm,
big fan of kurma. I have tried butter filled with kurma. It's like a sandwich of people say it's a sunnah food. It's sunnah meaning that if you consume that you will get pahala,
Mm.
right? But for me, that's not a good version of the healthy food that we need to practice. To
mm,
try the sunnah food is good to
Yeah,
try.
mm,
Okay, the key is moderation.
yeah.
Okay, just consume to try, but not to practice every day. Because we need to know, kurma is healthy,
Yes.
very rich with nutrient,
yeah,
fiber, and all the minerals. But when we consume with butter, you need to know what actually the butter. Butter is a animal fat. It
Yes.
mm,
is thin, high saturated fat, and also trans fat,
Yes.
meaning that it's very high in calorie.
Yes.
Yeah, when people consume kurma, dia tak makan one,
Yeah. They won't.
they will consume more than one.
True.
mm,
Okay, that's the issue. Because if you take healthy plus non-healthy food together in excessive amount, it obviously will lead to the consequences that impact back to our health, especially when high saturated fat, it will increase the bad cholesterol level,
yeah,
increase risk of the cardiovascular disease. Okay, itu yang kita tak nak, and also can increase the weight.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, puasa we expect we lose our weight,
Yeah,
so
yes.
consume that excessively. The key is excessive. Everything
Yes.
is okay if we can control the portion size, if we take it in the moderation, if we know when to stop,
Yes.
if we know how to pull our handbrake.
Mm.
Okay, the bad thing happen when we overindulge. The
Mm.
good food also will give the bad things.
Understand.
Okay,
Understand.
the key is moderation.
Yeah, that's actually very true. But I also want to bring, like some sort of like a different challenge or like perspective to make it more holistic. Because I do understand that some people, they use this as, like it's actually makanan sunnah, as what you mentioned just now. Why are we questioning makanan sunnah? We should actually eat more because it's sunnah, right? So I think that is the part where it's quite conflicting because it can be something quite sensitive to people, and
Mhm.
it can be something yang if let's say we look into science perspective or like nutrition perspective, it is also giving harm to our body,
Yep.
right? Yeah, so I think that is the part where it might seem quite conflicting, but I totally agree with what you were like explaining just now. It's healthy and unhealthy, and we overindulge things a lot, and at the end of the day, the key is all about moderation.
Yep. The
With that
key
being
is
said, right,
moderation.
I have a question to doctor. Like, okay, because you have been saying about moderation, right? We have to tarik the handbrake when it is needed. So if
Yeah.
let's say for a person like me, okay, if I were to try, maybe just a just a young guy, if I were to try kurma butter, how many piece should I try? That considered as moderation.
Okay. 1 to 2 pieces
Ah, okay.
is a good. Is reflect the moderation. Uh,
Mm,
we need to control the fat content.
Yes.
mm,
We know kurma is healthy. We have a good portion of kurma. It's a small size. It's about three pieces. It's a
mm,
healthy portion. Yeah, the bad thing is about the butter. Okay, if
mm.
you know 1 teaspoon of butter contain about 45 kilocalorie.
One
Mm.
teaspoon, right? Like a
One
small
teaspoon.
teaspoon.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay? But if we see the photo, it's
Oh,
not about 1 teaspoon. It's about 3 teaspoon. 3 teaspoon equal to one tablespoon.
Yeah, one
Yeah.
tablespoon.
1 tablespoon, yeah, 45 multiplied by 3. That's
yeah.
the calorie from the butter
And that
for
is
one
just
kurma.
the food during like before you we eat the main food, right? Just like a if I
Appetizer.
put appetizer.
Yeah.
Yeah, and one thing is kuma need to take it's two, right? In even number, right? There's
the
a
sunnah, the
the
sunnah. I think the sunnah is always the number
Ganjil.
ganjil.
ganjil, it
Yeah,
means the odd number lah.
3, 5.
So it's either one or three lah. You don't go until five, seven, there will be too
Yeah.
much already. If let's say we talk about moderation. Okay, all right,
Moderation.
all right.
Hmm.
But I think a lot a lot of times whenever it comes to festival, especially during Bazaar Ramadan, I think few years back I see a lot of makanan viral that I mean the beverage all sort of color one, different
Yep.
color. And this year when they are talking about kurma butter and etc. What is your advice, doctor? Like to maybe some of the any others who are listening, when it comes to makanan viral, right? How what is your advice to us? Yeah.
Okay, makanan viral sebenarnya makanan in trend.
Betul.
It be promoted by influencer
Mm,
Hmm.
and then make people search for it
mm,
or trying to make or learn how to make it,
mm.
and then if good they will use that as part of the generate income. They will generate income.
Hmm.
That's come the business when viral foods comes in. Okay, but for us as a pembeli, the purchaser, we actually need to purchase with our mind.
Yes.
We need to be mindful, not only when eating, but also when we purchase.
Hmm.
Okay, some of viral food when we want to, they sell a very large amount
Mm.
because they want to set a higher price.
Yeah.
And then we purchase. That's not for one person.
Mm.
You can try, because during fasting, for example, the hunger and also the craving
Nafsu.
increase, right?
So much.
Increase. Okay, so buy it and then share with whole family, not to self indulge and finish by your own self. That's the key. Moderation is the key.
Yep, understand. And also share, right? It's not
Yeah,
to overindulge
share the
yourself.
calories.
Yeah, I think that's a very good advice. I really like that thoughts that you give. Also, I would like to add on that. Whenever like I talk to my client, right? When I'm doing coaching, I always tell them when it comes to you eating something, or like you get some viral food, always remember that when you want to eat something, right, it's like you're putting something into your body. So you have to be mindful, or you have to be really careful in terms of what are the things that are going inside your body. Same goes with like medication. We won't simply take medication unless it is prescribed by the doctor, right? But we
Yes.
don't want lah until like sampai dietitian kena prescribe makanan baru you boleh makan, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
but what I'm trying to tell them is that always be mindful about what's going into our body. Like example, if let's say yes, kurma butter, we understand kurma is good, right? But think about how does this impact of having butter on the kurma into our body. If you don't know, ask. We now have internet, people can just simply google about it and whatnot. Yeah, so I think that's another thing that I would just like to add on top of what you have been saying just now about being mindful and careful in terms of like what we are actually taking, regardless is actually an in trend or like a viral food.
Mm.
I have one thing to add on.
Oh,
I think pretty much be mindful and things like that. And right now, because of social media and everything, and because of internet, right? When you see there's a food is getting viral, or a lot of views and things like that, try to search more first. I believe among the circle itself, there will be nutritionists, dietitian. They actually share their thoughts about it. Like
Yeah.
if you do know some dietitian or whatnot, you can actually just search on social media. I believe, truly believe, there will be someone who is sharing what could be the risk and things. At least you make your choice. Yeah,
Yeah.
because another thing that I realize is maybe some of the audience that they do not know how to find a dietitian, or where can they get the right
my
information.
friend diet ah.
Yeah, my father is one of it. Yes, exactly. Right. So you can actually drop us DM, but or else like there will be a lot of reference online right now, which sometimes it might be true and not true as well lah. I mean, it's
Mm,
very challenging to identify the right one, but at least try to do your research first.
true.
Mm,
Yep, totally agree
yeah.
with that. Yep. So to look into the whole discussion just now, right, about this makanan viral,
Mm,
I think it's not just impacting the younger generations, because we are mainly the one who uses the internet, right? We are the one who sees the viral food. But on top of that, of course, these young people, they will go back home and they will tell their parents, right? And their parents could be among the older people or older generation, or someone who is like in the between of over 60 years old, under that geriatric category, right? So in these kind of situations, right, in your point of view, maybe just something that you want to share in general. Okay, there's no specific indication. In general, like how does someone who is 60 years old and above can stay healthy, or can stay like hydrated during Ramadan?
Okay. Thank you for the question. Realize or not, we actually living with older people.
Yep.
mm,
Okay, our
mm.
parent, living with our grandparent,
True.
right? So we need to take care of them. So to stay healthy, the advice actually is similar to adult population,
Mm,
Mm,
but if the older people have comorbidities, then the family member need to check on that. Okay, so extra careful for older patient with diseases, especially diabetic, hypertension, with the medication and insulin. Make sure that all the medication is on check.
mm,
mm.
With the meal time. Okay, and then eating healthy. Eating healthy doesn't mean you need to eat sukus paru.
yeah,
Yeah,
I like
Paru.
this.
yeah.
I like this one. Thank you for highlighting it. Okay, so
Eating healthy meaning that you eat variety of food in moderation to meet your requirement. Uh, So variety means there are no single macronutrient. You need to eat all the carbohydrate, protein, and fat because every macronutrient give a good function to our health.
Exactly.
Yeah. So yeah, actually, Scoop Sparrow is really helpful to help you in estimating this the portion size so that you are actually following the right portion for every meal time. Okay, so yeah, eating healthy, eat whatever you like it. Yeah, choose the healthy option.
Mm.
Mm.
If you can't cook, then please cook at home. Yeah, if the family member able to spend time eating with your parents or grandparents, please do so at least one meal time per day, especially during Ramadan, during the breaking fast. That
Mm.
actually the important moment to have a socialize,
True.
okay, eating togetherness. um, I would like to highlight the processed food.
Mm.
Yes.
Processed food and ultra processed food is really harmful for our health. So when you choose to have an easy life, meaning that if you choose the processed or ultra processed food, meaning that you choose to be easy,
Yes.
right?
Mm.
So please check on that because processed food, ultra processed food actually is not healthy. Yeah, very high in fat, high in sugar, high in salt.
Yeah.
Okay, so please be careful.
Mm.
Yeah, so need to have time to prepare the food.
Mm.
Yeah, so everything for our good things really need time.
Mm.
You need to focus. Okay, making your time to do shopping,
Yeah.
making your time to do the preparation, making your time to do the cooking, and also
Mm.
eating together. Okay, that's the recipe for the healthy life.
Exactly.
Okay, yeah, maknanya to become healthy not only for the food per se, it's actually overall the bigger picture, uh, including the emotion,
Exactly. Enough sleep as well, right?
enough sleep,
Hydration.
enough
Mm.
hydration, and good financial so that you can purchase.
That's also.
Yeah, yeah, true, true.
Okay, yeah, and then the caregiver, the family member, it needs to give the extra attention
Mm.
to your parents. Okay, many caregiver that accompany patient to my clinic
Mm.
doesn't know that their parents actually losing teeth.
Oh, really? Because they
Mm.
don't talk that much or they don't see that much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm the one ask patient to open the mouth. I want to check your teeth. Are you wearing dentures? Is that your dentures are properly fitted? Is that any ulcer? The doctor or caregiver doesn't know about it, and then
Mm.
complain that the parents
Didn't
doesn't
see it.
eat enough.
Mm.
Okay, but that's the reason you need to know what actually the root cause of your parents doesn't eat enough. What actually the root cause, and then we need to manage the root cause. As simple as wearing the spectacle during the eating time for have a better version.
Yes.
Mm.
Okay, yeah, ataupun helping in cut the food into the small pieces during the meal time. Okay, and also accompany, like I said, eating together.
Mm. Mm.
Okay, so that's the recipe, but must include physical activity.
Yeah. Yeah. To move more, maybe just walking,
Move more.
right?
Please walk or do gardening,
Yeah.
Mm.
or ataupun
It's a book.
small walk.
Yeah.
Okay, for adult we advise 30 minutes 5 times per week. But for older adults, as long as they have a better version of them, okay, starting small, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and then increase gradually. Because for older patient, we are very afraid about risk of fallen
Falling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
falling, fractures, other disability. Okay, a lot of things need to check before we need to start something, especially the physical activity. But cardio exercise and resistant exercise are really helpful to maintain the muscle.
Mm, yeah,
Mm.
understand. Yeah, I think that's a very comprehensive like advice that you give, and it's general enough for everybody. I think it's not just applicable for older people, but also us as an adult. I think it's also important for us to take care of all these aspects that Dr. Aida just mentioned just now. I have one I think question that I'm just like having out of curiosity in my mind. What's your thoughts about more, doctor? Because like we know when people take more, it's like after Tarawih, and then it's already maybe 9:30 or 10, and then maybe like 12 they already sleep, right? So they only have like 1 or 2 hours gap. Like at least our body need 3 to 4 hours to digest the food. So what's your opinion about more, doctor? Like, is it something we should actually take, or yeah, what is it in your point of view?
Right. So more actually a meal time reflect the snack.
Mm.
Mm,
Instead of like
If
a main meal, right?
mean meal is a in between meal,
mm,
but not everyone needs in between meal, right? But older patient maybe needs the in between meal because they have a poor appetite.
mm, mm,
Yeah. So if you need the more, so more is a good meal to add in extra calories and also protein. So choose the nutrient dense food containing protein and also fruit, so that they can keep the water check to fulfill the requirement as do for the protein as well. Okay,
Understand.
so nutrient dense food, energy dense food is work well with older patient, older adults.
Understand. Is there any example of like simple food? Like in Malay community, maybe something that when they listen to this podcast, or they can just suggest to their father or mother, okay, ayah or mama, you can just take this for more, for example, instead of like they take a bunch of like kuih pelita daripada what to buka just now. Maybe is there any food suggestion from you?
You need to ask your parent what actually the food preference.
That's very
mm,
Yeah, it should be individualized based on preference, not a single food fits everyone.
nice.
Yeah? And then if we can modify, make it a healthier version, that will be great. Okay, but for older patient, one small ice cream is a nutrient dense.
Okay,
mm,
interesting. Yeah,
Greek yogurt with fruits is a nutrient dense. The fruit that contain higher nutrient,
true.
but also contain good protein to support, not the zero calorie ataupun high energy dense without all the nutrient.
True.
mm. Okay. So, doctor, do you have any, because you mentioned about nutrient dense food just now, is there any example of food that is not dense in nutrient, for example? Because you mentioned about yogurt with
Fruits.
fruits. Yep. And you mentioned about ice cream. Yeah. Is there any food that is not so dense in nutrient?
Food, non-dense food meaning that a zero, no empty calories food.
Mm,
Food that contain higher calorie but zero nutrient.
Mm.
For example, all the soda drinks,
mm, mm.
French fries,
Mm.
only carbs and fat, no
Yeah.
nutrient. Okay, so that's the non-dense food, non-nutrient dense food.
Mm. So in a way, for everyone context as well, nutrient dense food actually consists of different different nutrient in it, and it is not just one or maybe just a very small amount of nutrients. For example, some sugary drinks is just mainly on sugar. It
Sugar.
doesn't contain any other nutrients that could help with our body, right? And if you drink, you feel full easily. Especially for elderly, I believe it will be hard because if let's say their appetite is not good, if they drink soda water, for example, or carbonated drinks, they feel full. They don't have extra space to take more food. Then it might lead to them don't get enough nutrients after that. Right? Yeah.
That's good for caregiver to know what
Mm,
actually the nutrient dense food or empty calories, so that they can differentiate and make a modification.
Understand.
Okay.
Yep, that's really, really nice to know from that. Thank you so much, Doctor, for sharing these insights. I think it's really, really, beneficial for everyone who listen to it. Maybe we can also promote Clinic Diet Warga Emas, Is it open to public, or how do people actually get to go to there? Is it need referral from doctor, or they can actually walk in? Maybe you just want to share a little bit?
Thank you for the opportunity. Klinik Diet Warga Emas is based on medical specialist clinic. So it's open a second Tuesday of every month, 2 to 5. But now, due to
Demand.
higher demands, we open on the first week. So in 1 month, we have two slot of clinic. So if you need to refer, you need to see the dietitian. So you need to have a referrals and make an appointment, and then we will slot in your appointment to meet me. I'm the only dietitian in charge in Klinik Diet Warga Emas.
Mm.
Thank you.
Cool. I think we are already towards the end of our conversation. It's really fast, no?
Yeah.
Yeah, tahu-tahu dah towards the end. Maybe Shane, you just wanna any summarize the whole conversation today before we go into the last part of closing.
I think is this conversation or the conversation with Dr. Aida just now was very insightful, especially a lot of tips regarding how an elderly, right, especially for father, mother, grandfather, grandmother at home on how they can make sure they choose the right food, right, and what could be the risk of them being elderly. They have a higher risk of falls on and everything, and some of the problem that they face, poor appetite and things like that. I think that is some very important insights. As simple as wear spec, as simple as check the
Lecture.
denture and everything. And yeah, and thanks Dr. Aida for your sharing on the experience in UK as well. That is something very new, and I just get to know you need to fast for so long.
Actually, it happened
Mm,
to people right now. And now no, right now it's like winter or spring time, so I think it's not as long as in summer.
mm,
But yeah, I think another part that doctor also shared is about the kurma butter. At the
mm.
end of the day, following all those in trend viral food, it still go back into moderation. Like be mindful and careful in terms of what's going into your body. Like do some research about it or ask people whether it is healthy or not. Just evaluate it before we actually just accept something into
Our
our
body.
our body.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also, I think one important thing that we should also highlight when it comes to Bazaar Ramadan is also in terms of the food waste. Like buy something that we need. Instead of like we really follow our desire, our nafsu of like eating because we are hungry and we feel very thirsty. We buy everything, but after we drink every single thing, and then we start to become very full, and we won't be able to finish all the food, and it goes into the food waste. Yeah, so I think this is something that I really wanted to highlight as well. Despite we talk about diet, we also need to take care of our environment. Like what you said just now, it's not just about physical, it's not just about mental. Environment is also a very big contribution in terms of like our well-being as well, which I think when it comes to food waste, it's also important for us to look into. And I think we have currently in Selangor, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm. In most of the state actually,
Yeah, you want to share about that, the my food, my
my
safe
state
food,
food.
my safe food initiative. Have you heard
Yeah.
about this, doctor?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I get to know this initiative was started since 2016. Basically, they collect um, all the food waste or unsold food from
Food.
Pasar Ramadan, kueh and food, etc. And then they actually give it to different some of the initiative they give it to needies. Some of it they give to student in IPTA as
Yep.
well, like those needy students or the population itself. Which I think one of the statistics that I read before, just on the first 6 days of Ramadan this year, they already collect around the food 8.1
Tons.
8.1 tons of food waste
Crazy.
across Malaysia, and a lot more state is starting to implement this, which I think is really a very important way to still take care of our environment despite with all the bazaar that we are having.
Yep,
Yeah.
exactly. So yeah, I think that's pretty much about it for today. Thank you so much, Dr. Aida, for giving us opportunity to have a conversation with you. I really miss listening to your advices because you are really like a mother. It's like when you give us the examples, the advice, the explanations right just now, you were really saying it from your heart. Like not just about knowledge, but it's about when we actually advise our patients or our clients, it's something that we put. into ourselves. You know, it's not just you tak boleh makan ni, you kena ikut suku-suku separuh saja, but you really explain it in a way where people really want to listen. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you very much, Dr. Aida.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm
Our
very
pleasure.
excited for this collaboration.
Mm-hmm.
So it actually a platform for me to share my sharing experience. Yeah. So yep. So as a summary, can I say the
Sure,
summary?
sure. Yep.
Eat wherever you want. The key is moderation. There are no bad food, good food. So the key is moderation. So be mindful when you eating. Yeah, not only when you eating, but also when you purchase your food.
Yep.
Yeah, okay, and then take care of your parents, grandparents. Okay, be nice to them. Okay, enjoy every moment, especially during Ramadan here and Raya later on. Spend time, spend your eating time, spend your quality time with them. Have a solat taraweh together. Yeah, sahur together. It's very meaningful. Yeah, so as I older now, I very miss my experience, and I actually wants to spend more time with my parents. So every weekend I go and meet them, having a meal, solat taraweh together, because that actually my happiness.
Mm.
Okay, so do whatever make you happy. Not only you happy, you also need to make sure other people happy as well, especially our parents. Okay, take care of them. Needs to know about their needs. Okay, if they have the difficulty in eating, so please find the root cause. If you need help, ask dietitian, ask fine diet.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
search the truth, not to hear all the myths. So find the right information and feel get a referral dietitian so that our parents actually have a better treatment and also nutrition care. Yeah.
Perfect.
Perfect. Yeah.
Yep, yep. This is the best time ever. We recorded, very full of. I mean, it's full of like insights and knowledge. I believe for certain people, right? Something new about nutrient dance. You know what are the type of food, the example and stuff. But yeah, again, I think that's about it. For our podcast today.
One
Um.
thing that I want to add on,
Oh yeah.
because it seems like Dr. Aida have a lot of experience to share with us. So if let's say if you are listening or you are watching, if you want to know more about the conversation or want to see us or interviewing or talking with Dr. Aida, just feel free to comment and just drop us DM or anything. If let's say the response is overwhelming,
Maybe we can do part two.
yeah,
All
we can
right.
do a part two for
I
Raya
can,
next time.
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. Okay. Yep. That's all for today. Thank you very much, Doctor. Thank you very much, everyone, for listening.
All
Salam
right.
Ramadan and Selamat Hari Raya. I don't know.
Yeah, selamat Hari Raya.
Selamat Ramadan, selamat Hari Raya.
All right. Bye
Alright,
bye.
bye bye.
Bye.